Guardian up there. We got some Alliance forces as well. Reese. And Raubon.
Welcome back, you two. Greetings, Lord Hien. Glad you could join us.
Here we are, the forward base, I guess.
Glad to be here. I would have come sooner, where our own defense is not in question, but I am pleased to report that our soldiers are assembling for deployment to Ala Mhigan as we speak.
Yeah, what forces they can spare and get here quickly.
We're grateful for your support. Thanks to the efforts of our allies, it won't be long before we've established defensive positions on this front as well.
We have some good news too. Alphino has come back to us. As for the bad news...
Some good news, some bad news. Alphino is back, but he's been yoinked. He's among the afflicted. Oh, also, guys and Belsa are still alive.
So, Alphino won't wake up. Gaius van Baelsar is alive and hunting Asians.
Yep.
And the Empire is planning to poison us all with toxic gas.
Yep.
Does that sound about right?
Aye.
Ordinarily, any one of those things would have left me in shock. But the way things have been lately, it's all starting to seem pretty normal.
Yeah, shit is really starting to hit the fan. There's a lot of stuff happening right now. You know, we like I said, we went from all right, we got to figure out how to get this Asian that's in Xenos' body to oh no, the Empire's retaliating. Oh no, a calamity's on the horizon. Oh no, the signs are getting yoinked by one by one. It's all been. Oh no, they have a weapon of mass destruction. Oh no, you know, like holy fuck.
Getting back to your report, are we sure this Black Rose is the weapon Maxima was talking about?
Unless they got two fucking mass weapons in the wings, which could be.
It fits the description. And it seems we have Alphino to thank for sparing us an early demonstration of its effectiveness. I have a feeling this won't be the last time his bravery in the Empire will serve us here in Eorzea.
Well, I did good. His mission was worth it. Alphino. We didn't even get to meet up with him again. Passed out.
The threat of an unknown weapon has had us all on edge. But now that we know what we're dealing with, we can take steps to defend against it.
Hopefully, I mean, like, yeah, like I said, if we can have some magic or whatever that might be able to disperse the air, but otherwise, like, unless you got, like, military-grade gas masks on hand... Start inventing those quickly.
As for Gaius, I'm not sure what to think. Am I happy he's alive? Not in the slightest. Am I happy he's hunting Asians? Aye, I'd have to say I am.
Indeed. You know... better he's alive and we have a common foe than he's alive and he's been working with the Empire this entire time and he's our foe again, you know? We'll take the ally.
Oh, speaking of Garleans you didn't expect to see, we have a tale of our own, as it happens. When we sent envoys to the Imperial Army to request talks, they returned with the message that Varis Zos Galvus would be attending.
The Emperor himself. All right.
The Emperor himself? Well, Varis did sanction the Popularis peace mission.
That was true, but we assumed that that might have been under, you know, the express mission of, you know, sabotaging the Popularis.
But knowing that an Asian walks in his son's skin, I do not see how we can trust him or anyone from that nest of vipers.
Nest of vipers, indeed.
The Alliance would proceed with negotiations regardless, if only to give ourselves more time to prepare. We do, however, require your cooperation.
I would be super wary of any meeting where lots of important figures were together if they have this weapon of mass destruction. Now, from what we know in character, Gaius destroyed the plant, and so he's unlikely to have a sample of Black Rose on hand. But out of character, we do just get that cutscene where there's like, we have one that's ready to deploy. So holy shit.
Right. Yes. So, as a condition for the talks to go forward, the Empire has requested that a member of the Scions be present.
Suspicious!
There'll be a representative from each Alliance nation, of course, but I'm afraid we have to ask that you come along too.
They want to take us all out in one hit, man. This is specifically that they requested us. I wonder why, besides to try to take us all out. Well, this is not good. It might be a trap. At least it might be a trap.
Gods, Lise, you know how much I hate politics. But then, what choice do I have? Alphino and the others aren't going to do it.
Yeah, so few of the Scions remain. We just have Tataru, Kryl, Alisaie, and myself. And Kryl's off trying to figure out the path of to try to figure out what to do with the souls, and Tataru is probably helping coordinate things with the Domans, and has never really been part of these talks to begin with. It's just you and me, Alisaie. We've got you, who doesn't like politics, and me with a reoccurring case of silent protagonist syndrome.
Very well. I shall attend as the Scion's representative.
I won't leave you to it alone, Alisaie. I'll go with you, even though this screams trap. I won't let you do it alone.
In case you're wondering why I didn't ask you, the Empire also requested the presence of Eorzea's champion.
This is extra suspicious. It's a trap. Yes, can we have all the important people be present? No reasons. Also send her most powerful fighters. Oh god. I'm not fond of politics either. No, if Alisaie's going, I'll be there. But I am also not fond of politics. But we've had to be in politics shit before, so I'll be there. Even though it really does scream trap.
That's settled then. We don't know what Varis means to bring to the table, or why he wants you there, but having you close at hand will make all the difference.
We don't know why he wants us there, at least. Trap.
The meeting will take place on the border. Anticipating an early assault, we mean to position the bulk of our forces nearby.
The Alliance leaders should already be on their way. Once you're ready, we can head out and join them.
The Alliance leaders do a lot of traveling, don't they? Ooh, look at all these banners all next to each other. Including one for Doma as well. What a colorful set of banners. They stand together. Doma, Gordania, Limsa Laminza, Ul'dah, Ishgard, Ala Mhigan. Fuck yeah. Let's go. Also, where the fuck are we? Oh, very specific. This is just the base camp. Alright, Alisaie. If Garlean could not negotiate peace with the Empire, I rather doubt war can be avoided here. But every moment we steal for our preparations will count in the final reckoning. Yeah, this screams trap though. Hien? Is Emperor Varis enthralled to the Asians? That is the question. Yeah, we don't know anything about that yet. Rabam? Should the Empire decide to ignore the rules of Parley, we could be fighting far sooner than we'd like. Keep your weapons close. I rub on this screams trap. Lise? Well, I don't suppose it's polite to keep an emperor waiting too long, shall we? We can wait as long as possible. Parley with the emperor, yes, no. Alright, here we go. Yes. Oh, shit. These two guards. A very specific parlay tent with all the leaders here. Oh my god, trap. Oh my god, it says screams trap. Amark as well. Of course. There be the man. I get the most foreboding share. Dramatic cape flare.
Esteemed representatives of the Eorzean Alliance, on behalf of the Garlean Empire, I thank you for inviting me here today. As this parley was convened at your request, I invite you to speak first.
Alright, who's taking the lead? Nanamo usually does.
Very well, Your
Okay.
Radiance. I, Nanimo Ulnamo, 17th in the line of Ul, should be pleased to oblige you.
Nanamo, you're doing great.
As recent events in Ala Mhigan and Doma have made plain, the subjugation and exploitation of neighboring nations is not a sustainable policy.
The Garleans are going to show you a sustainable policy by mass murder.
Should this day end in war, you may very well defeat us, but you will never extinguish the people's desire for freedom. Though it may not be in our lifetime, there will be another revolution, another war, and the cycle will continue. Doma has entered into a concord with the nations of Eorzea, a partnership wherein we recognize one another as equals. Garlemald could be afforded similar treatment. You need only set aside your ambitions and join us in paving a path towards peace.
I don't think Garlemald would, even not knowing what we know currently with the Asian business, Garlemald would not be satisfied. They consider one of the reasons they wish to set out against the Eorzean in the first place, not considering all the Asian bullshit, was because they didn't agree with the primals, the primal summoning, that they thought Eorzea and the primals were a blight upon this world. And they meant that's one of the reasons they meant to conquer us, that they meant to expand and conquer others, partially. I think the expansion obviously was also for its own sake. I don't know what the origins of the expansion were. But yeah. Now, my thoughts on that matter is just like, hey, as long as we're killing the primals and they're not, affecting you, then mind your own fucking business. We got this well in hand. But, for the Garlean, their self-righteous crusade, they would think otherwise. Based on what we know, not knowing of the Asians. So I think this is a reasonable hand extended in for peace, but to view us as equals of what we know of the Empire, they deny it. Not even bringing in, obviously, bringing all the Asian bullshit.
You will not win me over with sophistry, Your Grace.
It was worth a shot.
As you know only too well, this alliance lacks the strength to keep the peace within its own borders. Even now, your struggles with the Beastmen continue unabated.
Oh, you don't have your own problems, eh? Infighting? Not uncommon within your ranks, is it?
Divided, you sow this fertile soil with the seeds of your differences and reap naught but discord and chaos for your trouble. Eorzea must be united under one leader, one purpose. I would offer you both and bring an end to your strife.
Yes, but you offer dictatorship. Not a hand in building something together.
With all due respect, Your Radiance, the only thing that you offered the people of Ala Mhigan was fear and hopelessness.
The citizens of Dorma can also attest to the meager arms of imperial rule. There is no purpose to be found in a life of oppression, each day more uncertain than the last.
Our people are willing to die for their freedom. A great many already have, and countless more will, if we don't put an end to this madness here and now.
I don't think you can appeal to them as just like, but think of the lives. That's not gonna reach him. I push back against him. You say that we're uncertain and that, you know, we have infighting or whatever. You have infighting.
We brought order and stability to your lives. This madness and bloodshed is of your own making. You broke the peace, not Garlemald.
Order and stability. Liar. Liar. Sure, on the surface. But underneath the surface, oh, there was already lots of blood being shed. The slaughter of the Doans under Yotsuyu, where she made a man kill his a friend in the village and then made him told him to shoot his own parents. The Imperials standing aside as Fordola's parents got murdered. There was already blood.
Peace. Order. You kill our peoples, despoil our lands, take everything that is ours. And what? You expect us to lick the boot that grinds our faces into the dirt?
Robots got the right of it.
I expect you to weigh the costs. To recognize that countless lives have been lost on both sides in pursuit of a greater good, and to not squander all we have achieved in a fit of petulance.
Fit of pestilence. To live in hopelessness, but with your life, or to risk it all for hope of a better tomorrow. Always the latter.
Your Radiance. I fear I can personally attest to the dangers of pursuing one's vision with such righteous fervor.
It's alright, I don't think we're gonna win this guy over, but keep talking, guys. We're buying time. Keep going. Just talk. Start on the longest fucking tangent you can. Aymeric, start telling your entire life story. Start from the beginning, when I was a young boy. Keep going from there.
For 1,000 years, the Holy See of Ishgard waged war with dragons. A 1,000 years of sacrifice, of sorrow and hate, in which we bathed in the blood of friend and foe alike. Had it gone on any longer, we may well have drowned.
Well, like, I mean, yeah. That was Nidhogg's purpose. To cause suffering as retribution. And then he seemed inclined to just wipe them out. After he had been slain. As his final act. Using Estinian's body.
Yet we have chosen to raise ourselves out of this bloody spiral, and have since made peace with our former enemy.
Keep going, Amor. Keep telling the story. Keep going into detail.
So I understand. No doubt the dragons were more receptive to your overtures in the wake of their leader's demise.
One of their leaders, Race Valgar, aided us.
You speak of peace, yet use war to achieve it. Your
And Parley.
father would not have bothered to obscure his intent with honeyed words. He understood that strength is all that matters in the end.
You know what's a lesson from talking to Race Valgar? Is that all the factions that bid for war, there are certainly factions that will bid for peace. If you will not accept it, then prepare for insurrection from within. Bitch, we'll do it. We'll do it. We know that Garlemald is not as a united front as they pretend to be. Let's go. Let me speak. I'll kick this massive man's
Without
ass.
his clarity of vision, I can but
Verbally.
wonder what will become of Ishgard and her people.
There's still clarity of vision here.
There was a time when Garlemald too lacked a leader of conviction. Weak and unable to wield magic, we were at the mercy of the strong from whom we sought refuge in the bitter cold of the north.
And this is the tale of the beginnings of Garlemald, yep.
Were it not for the discovery of ceruleum and the subsequent development of magitech, we might never have gained the power to take back that which was rightfully ours.
You speak as if your people were the first to have been driven from their homes. Limsa Lominsa was built by wayward souls in search of a place to call their own.
Ooh, are we getting a moment for every leader to speak? Keep going, guys. Keep going.
On the shores of Vilbrand we found it, and from those humble beginnings did we grow and flourish. And all without robbing our neighbors of their liberty.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Merwimp. Just don't talk about the kobolds, though. Just those who you saw... not the other members of the Orsian lines, but the kobolds, though. Free fucking fodder for you. It's not the same with Garlemald. I don't think you can speak here. Like, they consider us less than, and would take us over for their cause. I don't think you can speak here, Merwip. He's gonna come back with it. He knows a lot.
So saith the pirate. Am I to believe that you simply asked the kobolds to
There we
yield
go.
up their lands and that they were happy to oblige you? That you did not drive them out like rats in the hold of one of the many ships seized by your privateers.
See, he's not. That one was easily rebuttable. That was easily weak attempt, Merweb. Weak attempt.
I will concede that after centuries of exile, reclamation may be mistaken for invasion. Nevertheless, it is not. And those who till stolen soil have no right to object when cast out in turn.
Fair enough on that regard.
Your
Kane's
uncompromising
turn.
nature rivals that of the Ixal.
You know, like, this man knows a lot about Eorzea, so, like, you know, these words, but if, like, if somebody was talking to us about a nation, it was just, like, brought up these proper nouns, and he's just, like, you know, it was like when I first arrived at the steps, and people were just like, this clan name, I was just like, I don't know who these people are. They're just like, oh, yeah, the Tharl, like, attacked the Badu clan or whatever, and whatever, and I was just like, I don't know what these words mean. These are clan names, they mean nothing to me. I'm not gonna remember this or whatever. We got no context. So like if he didn't know what the Ixal were, then this is just like you need a little explainer. Because she's saying your uncompromising nature rivals that of the Ixal. The Ixal mean nothing to him. He knows nothing of the Ixal. Now, he seems well informed, so I think he knows, but...
They too lament circumstances which they themselves perpetuate. Were they but to embrace peace, we would welcome them with open arms. Indeed, some few have done just that, and now receive of the 12's Wood's bounty.
Yeah. The Ixal seek to reclaim the forest, but they would never be able to do so under the will of the elementals. That they would just drive them out. They would invoke the Green Wrath. Con E. He's just going to turn this around and be like, oh, but we would give you our bounty if you just accepted us. Like you bow to the elementals. That's going to be his rebuttal here, probably. But he's a liar because there's no bounty that will be received.
Would that your people might learn from their example.
Easily rebuttable. Let's watch him do this.
You dare compare us to the Birdmen? You who thought to invoke the 12 and threaten all of creation?
Weak comeback, Varis. Weak comeback.
I came here in the hope of finding some speck of common ground, but I see now these discussions will accomplish nothing.
No, but let's keep talking. Let me tell you my life story. We'll start from the beginning. It's all leading somewhere, I totally promise. Wink. Delay, delay, delay.
Despite what you people may believe, I am not wont to choose the sword over the olive branch.
Liar.
'Tis but a pity men are loath to accept one without first being shown the other.
There have been plenty of times where that has not been the case. I'm just dead silent through all
Wait!
this.
I beg you. This meeting was supposed to be a chance to find a way forward together, not to bemoan the missteps which brought us here.
Okay, Alisaie, you good job, good job. I'm dead silent through all this. Uh-oh, guys, my silent protagonist syndrome is still kicking in. All right. Yeah. Of all the times to be hit with another bout of silent protagonist syndrome. Shit.
Please, If you truly consider violence a last resort, there must be a way we can come to an agreement.
Well, he's already put forward bend the knee.
As Mistress Alisaie says, we did not come here to bicker over the past, but to discuss how we might strive towards a brighter future. Emperor Varis, may I suggest a short recess, that all present might compose themselves prior to beginning anew?
Yes, good job. Delay, Nanamo, delay.
Very well. I pray this intermission will suffice to move these talks in a more constructive direction.
Like, yeah. Though I do wonder if, like, we delay for our side as well, but does this delay helping their side too? Specifically in regard to Black Rose. And getting it here. Whatever, we've set our course. I could have rebutted every single one of his things, man. I had it on hand. All right, Hien. For a moment, I feared our talks would descend into violence there and then. Alisaie speaks of her dislike for politics, but her honest plea may very well have prevented an early battle. Good job, Alisaie. Aymeric? If only Alphino were here with us at this time. Whatever rebuttal I had in mind was lost when Varis mentioned my father. The man is certainly skilled at keeping his opponents off balance. I see. You still languish a bit under his shadow. When he said that, you know, like they would want for his conviction and clear leadership, did he really strike at your heart? In which case, how well informed is this man? I mean, if he's listening to the Ascians know of all the troubles because they're the root of most of these troubles. Kane? I do much wonder at Emperor Varis' decision to attend these negotiations. It is plain he has no intention of hearkening to our entreaties. But what then is his goal? Maybe he's also buying time, or maybe he's also trying to get a read of us. Or maybe this is all a trap and he's gonna kill us all. You know. Tis true that limbs of Laminza's beginnings were not wholly honorable. Yeah, they were a band of pirates, but our old wrongs do not make the Empire's deeds right. Yeah, that's fair enough. But don't come at him being like, we're more holy than thou, because that's not gonna work. Nanamo, great job, lass, leading that. For years we have warred with the Empire and with no end in sight. A parley such as this represents a unique opportunity, and I will not squander it with bitter words. Bomb. Also, Nanamo, too good for this world, so pure. Varis holds fast his ideals, just as I knew he would. He will not be swayed from this path. Yeah, it does not seem likely, but we can keep talking at him, and maybe some words that we say might take root. Maybe it will offer him a semblance of doubt. Maybe he will think on them. Sometimes you may talk with someone and it may seem like you're getting nowhere, but maybe they'll think on it. And maybe later come to see that some aspects were right. Lise? Why do I get the feeling the Empire is hiding something? That's very insightful of you, Lise, but like, care to elaborate? Or just like, I get a feeling. He seems to be hiding something. I don't like it. Alright, Alisaie? Good job there, lass. Way to speak up. I did not do that in any capacity. Phew, this is really not my forte, but you did good. After his Radiant's little performance, it was all I could do not to swear at him. His little performance. I honestly don't know how I ended up playing the mediator. Good job, Alisaie. I just asked myself what Alphino would have done. Tried my best to do the same, and by some miracle it worked. Fuck yeah, Alisaie. Channel Alphino! As we should all right now in this trying time of negotiation. But there's really no common ground to be found with the man. Nor do I think he looked for any. So the question becomes, what did he come here to do? Because you may be certain it wasn't to make peace. Well, maybe he thought he could convince us to surrender. Or he could convince us to give ground, or something like that, though he made no opening statements of his own. But no counter-argument besides just like, oh yeah, stop this war by bending the knee. So maybe he just came to make certain to make clear his stance. But also maybe trap. Whatever it is, I can't make it out. Not yet, at least. We do have a little time before the parley is due to reconvene. Though, so why not try consulting our illustrious leaders? Mayhap they have some insight to share. I've already roundtabled them, but okay, we'll go again. Why did he also request us specifically? Besides trap. Anything else to say, Alisaie? The meeting isn't due to reconvene for a while yet. You might want to ask the others what they think of the Emperor's after. It's not impossible one of them could have spotted something we've missed. Alright. Okay, Merlin. I will say one thing for this Varis. He is well versed in Eorzean history. Indeed, yeah. He does know a lot, does he not? His interest in our affairs is that of a beast in its prey. The conqueror would know his enemy. Mayhaps, but we don't know a lot about Garlemald. How did he get this information? Spies? All should know their enemies. Yet there is much and more we do not know of the Empire. Exactly. I'm sure Varis would be happy to tell you more. Then it's up to us to change that here and now. I'm sure Varis would be happy to tell you more. Well, I don't think he would be happy to tell us more, but maybe we can change that here and now. Let's flip the tables. Let's ask him about the Empire. Ha! You would have me ask the Emperor himself. Well, mayhap there's some wisdom in that. If we can skirt the storm of his displeasure, we may yet come to our answers, even if it does mean sailing close to the wind. Okay, Hien. This parley was never like to bring peace, but I had hoped to learn something of Emperor Varis' relationship with the Asians. As had we all. Yet if he is in league with them, he is not like to volunteer the fact. And if he is not, how much weaker would his position seem for their presence? If we are to broach that particular subject, we will need to be subtle. Would that I knew more of the man. If you would indulge me, Lord Hien, you received an imperial education, did you not? Is it true that the Emperor's will is considered absolute? There is no higher authority in all of Garlemald, nor else in the heavens come to that. Veneration of the gods is forbidden, the only worship permitted being that of His Radiance's own person. That sounds suspiciously like a religion in itself. It does. I share your disdain for their hypocrisy. Even as they degenerate the idea of faith, they revere their leader with a fervor others reserve for the divine. It is a flaw common to much of the doctrine they fed us. Logical on the surface, perhaps, but contradictory upon closer examination. I wonder if a discussion of the various discrepancies might prompt Varis to reveal something. Yeah, there certainly is a lot of discrepancies. Like I told you, I had rebuttals in the wings for everything he said. Lise? Why do I get the feeling that the same line for what I'm on to right now, Nemo? 12 have mercy, but for Lady Alisaie's timely interjection, we might well have come to blows at the negotiation table. Would we have? I thought we were just gonna. It was just the negotiations were gonna be concluded, and we would be like, "All right, go to your battles. We're going to start battle." You know, not maybe here and now. Not that the Emperor Varis left us a great many options. Is unconditional surrender all he will accept, do you think? We don't know enough of his purpose. All we know is that even if we said we'll keep the primals at bay, even if we think his reason for expansion is just the primals, we've been keeping them at bay and that has not deterred him. Ask him why. We've been taking out the primals. Why do you care? Get the fuck out. You say that the solution can't last forever. Well, I didn't see you slaying primals everywhere. How can you prevent the primals from being summoned if they're going to be summoned anyway? Certainly, when forces were summoned, when a primal was summoned on Fort Dola, she could do nothing of it, and she was an Imperial force. Like, yeah, they had Ultima Weapon, but Ultima Weapon actually quite handily killed the primals. Or at least Garuda and stuff like that, but that was all backfired on them, so if we're dealing with the problem, why do you care? For as long as we deal with the problem, he's just like, oh, but that can't last forever. But do you have a better solution for forever besides complete elimination of the beast tribes, which you already know ain't gonna work? Point him out for his hypocrisy. Ere he arrived, I'd have said yes. But having heard him speak, I cannot help but think he came with some other end in mind. Trap! Exactly. He's building up to something, I know it. How then should we approach the rest of the parley? Have you anything to say, Roy of Light? I have so much to say, they just won't let me. Invite Varis to explain himself, say nothing of Xenos or the Asians. Invite Varis to explain himself. We need to know his purpose if we are to figure out, like, we need to know what he wants. I mean, like obviously he could not have come expecting that we would, here we are ready to go at war. Would he have entertained the talks if we already knew we wouldn't bend the knee? Maybe he was hoping he could convince us through speech to, yeah, for sure bend the knee, but let's hear his side. You believe he is more apt to reveal the truth if we put him at ease. Mayhap you are right. Thank you, Kelvin. Okay. Alright. You've spoken with everyone then. Good. Now what remains is to await the pleasure of the Emperor, and hope we fare better at the second attempt. Oy, I still think Trap. Oh, he's back. We don't even get the walk-in.
Who would have the floor?
You.
Before we resume, I wish to offer you an apology. After you graciously accepted our invitation to discuss an armistice, we have done naught but rebuke you at every opportunity. I believe I speak for all of us when I say we are deeply sorry for our discourtesy.
You don't speak for me. I think we did okay. I think Nanamo's opening line of extending a hand of peace was all right, and he's the one that shut you down. Though everybody else then proceeded to be like, yeah, Merwebb's attempt especially was pretty weak, and then, you know, Connie was just like, you're like the Ixal. You know, like if only you can learn from this or whatever. But then again, like, Varis's rebuttals were also also very pointed and did not have an opening for this. So this is diplomatically gracious of you, Nanamo.
I'll admit your familiarity with our affair surprised me, and served to remind me how little I know of yours.
Like I said, he didn't know a lot. He knew of the kobolds. He knew of the Ixal, that they were the birdmen, even though Connie didn't say anything about that. He knew of Amorc's father. Did he even call him his father? Because he would known that too.
I think all here can understand the desire to reclaim one's homeland. But why expand further? That is my question.
Yeah, tell us why. Let us know of your reasons.
If I may, the answer can be found in the Imperial doctrine they took great pains to impart to my people. Recognizing the threat icons posed to the world, Solus Zos Galvus decreed that they were to be eradicated. To this end, he began a campaign to unite all lands under the Garlean banner.
Yeah, once again, we are dealing with the primals. They have not bothered you. You know. Leave it be, but maybe it's just like, oh, if we conquered you only, then the people would be spared even the blight of the primal summoning in the first place, but would it be worth all that blood when we were dealing with a problem on our own?
Or so we were taught. Yet the Emperor only reached the burn, the Baron said to have been laid waste by icons, after conquering all the lands that lay between. What is more, I am quite certain the practice of summoning was not nearly so widespread in the days before the Empire's founding.
So he's saying, like, yet the Empire only reached the burn after he had conquered all the lands that lay between Garlemald in the north and the burn. So why did he conquer them in the other lands in the first place?
When you put it like that, it all starts to sound like an excuse, doesn't it? But to distract from what? Why are you really waging this war?
Bold move, Lise. Go straight to the heart of the matter. What are these little black moths?
Finally, you ask the right question.
Oh?
I can but hope you heed mine answer and at last accept the righteousness of our cause.
Couldn't you just have led with this? Couldn't you just let us at our peace and then been like, I'll tell you why we're waging this war? If you were waiting for this to begin with? And whatever, buys us time. But really, dude?
My goal is this. To return the world to the way it once was. The way it was always meant to be.
He seeks the rejoining as the Asians do. Or so he says. Out of character, we've seen him in cutscenes not being so happy under the rule of the Asians. Because the Asians have zero care for Garlemald. And the people of Garlemald.
In doing so, mankind will be made whole once more. No longer will we suffer from the dissension born of our differences.
You say that. But you're wrong. Knowing what I know about some things. We won't extend further. But we'll just say that even then there can be big disagreements that lead to dire consequences. Go as far as that.
There will be but one race, a perfect race, as we were when time began.
What in Rulga's name are you talking about?
He's spewing the Asians thing. The Asians manifesto.
I am talking about the origins of this star, of the source and its 13 reflections.
This is where we learn he knows. He knows of the Asians, he knows of their machinations, and he said to stay in line with them.
At the instant of the great sundering, 'twas not only the world that was shattered, but mankind itself. Thus were we divided into myriad races, each with its own unique imperfections. That is why man looks upon his neighbor and feels fear and hatred, why he wages war, why he kills his brother.
Excuses. Oh, it's because we are imperfect that happens. Mayhaps because people let sin into their hearts, violence, fear, hatred, anger. That's what he's saying. That wouldn't happen if we were perfect, quote unquote.
You all in your own way have proven as much today. The peace you seek is but a fleeting solution to a fundamental problem. One which calls for more drastic measures. To bring about everlasting peace, our worlds must be rejoined. That is the goal the Empire would see realized. The glorious future unto which we shall one day shepherd mankind.
You know, rejoining the world. You like, okay, we learn more about this later. Unifying the souls or whatever. That sounds grand. But surely, like even Urianger said, like to reunify the world as to what it once was. You know, that sounds grand, but the cost of such destruction. Surely there has to be a better way. The means do not justify the ends.
A rejoining of worlds.
Have we told them this? Have the signs told them about this? This is the Asians' intentions? Do they know of the reflections?
The source and its reflections before.
Okay, good. Okay, we have told them.
Are these not the self-same desires as the Asians?
There we go.
Emperor Varis, do not trust in their words. They will lead you to your doom.
I think Varis knows this. He's seen how their callousness, how they don't care for the Empire. They would surely see the Empire burn as they would anything else. You will burn and die before you see this rejoining of worlds. As will your people. And then what then? Varis also got a line himself where he said in a cutscene, when the world is rejoined, will our people have a place in your perfect world? I think he said to an Ascian once. He knows this. He's putting up a front here, but he knows this.
My father thought to use them, but in the end he succumbed to their temptations. He embraced summoning like so many other pawns before him. Do not tell us you mean to do the same.
What was my point of my presence here?
Free from the burden of choice would be a blessing.
What?
But I forswore that privilege the day I learned that the Garlean Empire was built by the hand of an Ascian.
So, change it. Also, this is where the Original Alliance is now learning that Solus Vasgalvis or whatever was an Ascian.
What?
And also just like, oh, but the Garlean Empire was built by an Ascian, all we can do is follow the Garleans. Like, yeah, they're super powerful or whatever, but go against them. Join hands with us right here, right now. There are those who have slain them. We have slain the Ascians. That Gaius Van Belzer has been slaying Ascians. We can defeat them. It needs not be this way.
Yes. My grandsire, the former emperor, is of their number. And who better to build an empire capable of bringing about the calamitous change we desire? Would you condemn me for this alliance? For bowing to the will of these shadowy masters when the prize is true and lasting peace?
Yes, because the means do not justify the ends. War for how long? For centuries? For millennia? Time and time again? For what may or may not be a permanent solution? For their promises their promises that could be lies? They seek to rejoin the world for their god. Their god is reborn, what then? What is the purpose of their god? We do not know. They say, oh, for peace everlasting. But that is not a guarantee. The means do not justify the ends. Your prize is a lie, your master's demons. I will stop you and the Ascians no matter the cost. The cost does matter. Your prize is a lie. Your prize is a lie. You have no guarantee that the prize is the truth.
I come not to conquer, but to liberate. To free man from the prison of divergence.
Okay, that has nothing to do to counter what I have said, but sure, alright. You come not to conquer, but to liberate by killing us all.
Imagine a world united. One perfect race beneath a single standard.
Slow pan over to the Garlean standard. Our standard. Oh, we've already seen what a united world would be. We've seen it in Doma under your heel. We've seen it in Ala Mhigan under your heel. Suffering. The Ascians wish to bring in the calamity. You think that won't be more suffering? What have the calamities been up till now? Earthquakes, floods, Natural disasters. Ice.
An army before whose might these servants of darkness and light would fly as leaves in a storm, never again to meddle in man's affairs.
Oh, okay, so he wants to go against the Asians. Dude, we've been killing Asians! Just let us at them. But he also says, and light. So Hydaelyn as well? Her too?
We would be the masters of our own fate.
You have no plan for this, dude. We've been killing Asians. You haven't been killing Asians. Hydaelyn just has... You know, like, we've been her servants, but Hydaelyn doesn't have anything like the Asians under her wing. Just me, the champion. You say we be the masters of our own fate. You've shown us no reasonable path there, though, besides like, oh, we'll just be all on one banner and then we can fight the Asians. Bitch, please, extend your hand of friendship to us right now and we can both fight the Asians. Why do you need to conquer us? You don't.
I bid you join me, not as subjects of Garlemald, but of a new nation. And together we shall win freedom for ourselves and generations yet unborn.
Not Garlemald, but a new nation. It's still gonna be Garlemald. Put it under whatever new name you like if you still plan to not extend our hand in equal friendship and seek to conquer us. It's the same old, no matter what fucking nation you call it.
You want to trigger another half-dozen calamities? You can't be serious!
Half dozen. Okay, so 6. So we are at 6 calamities. I'm never quite sure on this number. I'm like 6, 7, 8, somewhere around there. And there's 13 reflections and the source, so it'd be like 13 calamities for a complete rejoining. So something like that. So we're about like a little over or maybe around halfway there.
Have you forgotten how many died? There will be no one left.
That was a flashback of the calamity of the most recent calamity, which was with Bahamut, I believe.
Do you truly imagine we would aid you in your bloodletting?
All right, everybody's gonna get their piece.
It is unthinkable, unconscionable.
Oh, we all stand now.
And what is the alternative? To be as cattle waiting for slaughter? I would have us work together that we might take fate into our own hands.
We've already been working, bitch. If he's against the servants of the light as well, if he also sees us as pawns to higher power, that we're not masters of our own fate. Slaying the Asians, good. Triggering the calamities, we would still be cattle waiting for slaughter.
Into your hands, perhaps.
I'll say not wrong. She's right. Be the masters of our own fate. That our fates would be our own hands, but yeah, he's in his hands. That's what he seeks.
But what of the other worlds, your radiance? With every calamity, you obliterate a star and every soul that dwells on it.
Yeah, she was there. She was there as well. The plight of the heroes of the first. It is not just the people that would die here, but the people who died there as well.
To the Ascians, we are all but tiny, momentary specks within an indifferent universe. We cannot hope to oppose them until we have been made whole once more.
But we've already been opposing them. Look at the Ascian hunters. We've slain 3 Ascians right now, one of which was La Habrea, which was one of the prime Ascians, apparently. We can fight them. The other guy, Gaius, he slayed 2. We've already slain 5 of the big ones.
Are these truly the words of Garlemald's ruler?
Oh shit. Oh shit. Nanam, are you about to drop some fire?
The flaws and foibles which you so abhor are what make us who we are. Every nation, even yours, Emperor Varis, is made whole through the combination of these imperfections, the strengths of one compensating for the weaknesses of another.
Alright, this is grand idealistic shit, Namo. This is grand idealistic shit, but, like, I mean, were we to be more powerful or, like, whole individually, that would also be, like, if they're just like, oh yeah, we used to be all so powerful at the beginning. If we could achieve that without bloodshed, I mean, let's not be honest, let's always say that would be cool, alright? So yeah, this is great, like, oh yeah, we can all compensate from the strengths and weaknesses of the other. Yeah, that's great for how it currently exists, yeah. But, like, I wouldn't say no to also, you know, being more, like, whole, like, whatever that would mean. Assuming the Ascians aren't liars. This is all grand and ammo if we work together. It's idealistic, yes. I'll agree, you know, even if we're not whole, we're worth it.
While it is true that man succumbs all too
You're
often
strong.
to anger and avarice, he may yet overcome his baser instincts through the forming of bonds with others, fostering community and cooperation.
Yeah, individually we may be weaker than the Ascians, but together we can be strong.
That the protector of an empire should not only reject these fundamental truths, but seek to change them at so dear a cost to life is indefensible. Such a man is not fit to govern.
Damn! The Namo! Alright, Namo. Gaius once told us only the strong can rule, and that the leaders of Eorze who are weak and who look to higher powers were not fit to govern. So the ideas of what people consider fit to govern differ, but good on you, Nanamo.
And you, warrior of light, would you refuse me as well?
You do not seek to defend the lives of your people. So yeah, in that case, you're not fit to rule. Those who rule seek to defend their people. You would offer them to slaughter for this maybe eventual peace. You warrior of light, would you refuse me as well? Yes. I cannot condone such a loss of life. We can defeat the Ascians as we are. Yeah, we can defeat the Ascians as we are. This is what I've been trying to say. I like I cannot condone such a loss of life. This is a good line. But we can do it. We can defeat the Ascians as we are. We've done so. We've been doing so. The other people leaders have already said that they can't condone such a loss of life. They've made it clear. But this has not been said yet.
It would seem the Alliance is of one mind on this matter.
Like, normally we're like, you know, the point isn't, you know, like, we defend life. The point isn't, you know, like we learned with Heaven's Word, you know, it's not... You know, the point isn't to gain vengeance against the enemy, but is to defend that which we hold dear. That's more importance. You know, when we went to go fight Nidhogg, we did so to save Estinian and not necessarily just to bring down Nidhogg. So in this case, you know, we don't just seek to bring down the Asians, we seek to defend life. So the line there would maybe have been, we could not condone such a loss of life, but we also have to let them know that if the Asians would stand against us, we can defeat them. As Nidhogg stood against us. In this regard.
You Eorzeans never cease to disappoint me.
And Garlemald never ceases to not be a piece of shit. Yet here we stand.
Though I suppose I have only myself to blame for expecting more from savages.
You can't negotiate with someone who never saw you as equal in the first place.
This discussion is at an end. I bid you make ready for our next meeting. It will not be at the negotiating table.
Let's go. Don't bring your cowardly weapons, bitch. We shouldn't let them know we know that, though. All right, well, negotiations failed, but we learn now that that Varis's goal